Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Elevate. My name is Jessica.
My name is Darwin.
Welcome back to another episode.
What's up? So today we're talking about why you should stop lying to yourself. Or why you should stop lying, period.
Who's lying to themselves? You lie to yourself?
I think we all lie to ourselves and we don't realize it as much. And the reason why I brought up this conversation is because I was listening to the morning meetup from David Shands, and he was talking about this. And he was saying how, like, we always lie to ourselves saying, like, oh, I'm going to start something new today. For example, let's say the gym, because I can relate more to the gym. I'm going to start the gym when, I'm overweight. I'll be like, oh, I'm going to start Monday. And then Monday comes.
I'll start next Monday.
I'll start next Monday. Mind you, though, you can start. Tomorrow's Tuesday. Like, why you got to start on Monday? So you get into the mentality of just lying to yourself and setting things you want to do and end up not doing it. And it's kind of a downfall for you because you're not sticking to your goals. What do you think? Do you feel like you lie to yourself about things?
I guess, yes. At some point, of course. I mean, how many times haven't I started a new sleep schedule where it's like, I'm going to go to sleep early and I'm going to wake up early and I'm going to, I've been planning to do this for quite some time. And I always do it for some days and then I fall off. I feel like I need to really, hold myself accountable to what I say I'm going to do, especially when I don't have someone looking behind my shoulder. The funny thing about it is I'm very good at being accountable if it's for someone else.
Yeah.
Like if I have like a compromise for someone else, like for my job, for instance, like I'm very reliable. Like as an employee, I don't want to be a bad employee.
Yeah.
So I give my 110% sometimes as an employee, and I should really apply that to my own life. Like when I want to have better sleeping habits, when I want to start a new project for myself that nobody actually is pushing me to do, but it's something that's a goal of myself. Yeah. I should be just as reliable for my own goals.
Yeah, agree. And let us know down in the comments if you feel like you lied to yourself as well. And start taking mental note.
I think that's very common, actually. I think it's a lot less common to be that person who doesn't let yourself down when you say you're going to start something. There's a lot less people who are that determined.
Yeah.
Because that's why there's a 1%. The perfect example.
Yeah.
Because that 1% was that percent that was determined to live a different life.
Because I feel like when you end up lying to yourself is when you start setting so many expectations of yourself or so many goals, and you want to accomplish, obviously, all of them, that you end up not doing anything. Kind of like the procrastination, in a sense, that we want to do so much and we end up like not doing nothing.
Right, because you're so overwhelmed.
So instead of you setting so many different tasks, like pick a certain few where you won't lie to yourself. And if you do lie to yourself and you say you was going to do this week, hold yourself accountable. Like, why didn't I do this? Like, this was my only task for today or for this week. Like, I should have got it done. Like, if it's something that's going to bring you to the next level, like, hold yourself accountable. Because if you don't, it's just going to spiral on to the next week. And then it's going to become like a routine. And that's kind of what happened with this podcast. That we was like, no, we need to put a schedule on Mondays so we upload. Because if we don't, it just starts like, oh, we missed this week and the next week.
Right. And I think we've done a very good job since we started. So can we get a round of applause for that?
Gotcha.
Yeah.
We skipped last week, but
yeah,
you don't know this right now.
I'm very proud of us staying consistent with this podcast and really we've been working on some things. You guys, I'm so excited. Oh my God. I'm not going to spill the beans, but I'm very excited about something that's happening very soon.
Hopefully.
Yes. But we've been working on some things and I'm very proud of us for, pushing through and still believing in ourselves, even though sometimes things don't look the way we want them to. But we keep pushing just with that end goal in mind. And I think that's very important to not be there just for the instant gratification, but to have in mind very clearly what your end goal is and to stick through.
Like realistic goals too.
Yes.
You know, that was one thing that when I decided this time around that I was going to lose weight and all that, because I'm always like up and down. I was more realistic with myself because I feel like in other years, I always had like this end goal that was like ridiculous, like shredded. And this approach was easier for me because I was like, you know what? Even though it's achievable, it's not realistic for me. Like I just want to be healthier. I want to be more energetic, have more drive, not sex drive, but
but that too. That's not bad.
I never lose that.
Yeah.
But, you know, like I just wanted to feel good. I wanted my confidence to be up. I wanted my self-esteem to be up because in order for me to sit here and give you guys these podcasts, like I need to feel good about myself, because if I don't feel good about myself, how am I going to transfer that over to you? Yeah. So that was like a goal for me that I was like, you know what, stop focusing on the big picture and like just minimize it. And that has helped a lot.
And you've been killing it.
Chocolate.
You've been actually killing it, and you've stood very consistent with it because, and you are not so harsh on yourself this time, because his end goal wasn't to be this shredded monster at the end. He just wanted to be healthier than he was when he started. And so that makes it easier during the journey, because he's not just constantly like banging his head on the wall saying, I don't look like I want to look yet, you know?
Or like falling off because I'm like, damn, I messed up 2 days. Now it's like I can miss 3 days, and I'm just like, it's okay. Like as long as I continue to be consistent, like it's gonna show for it.
And with that fitness journey, is very important to actually stay realistic with your goal, because in order for you to become these bodybuilders and these people who like compete and have these body that's like super shredded, you need to be on your fitness, on your eating, like 24/7. You cannot fall off just a bit. And so it's important for you to realize, can I actually keep up with this? Is this lifestyle attainable for me at this current moment? And for you, I feel like that would be very difficult at this point in time, because you have so many little different things that you're working on that you can't just focus all of your time on fitness.
Yeah.
So that is part of your life and part of your lifestyle, but it's not your end all be all.
Yeah, and not to turn it into like a fitness podcast, but another reason like the podcast came about was because we wanted to be realistic and stop lying to ourselves, saying like, oh, we're going to start creating these content that was not realistic for us. Like from what we was doing before, like, you know, traveling and stuff like that. Yeah. So it was like we was lying to ourselves, saying like, oh, we're gonna be doing these videos,
right? And
like always kind of letting ourselves down and you guys down,
and knowing that our finances at this point in time isn't going to make that easy for us to do at this point in time. So no, that's not our content at this current moment, because we're not going to be portraying a flashy lifestyle that we do not live.
Yeah.
And we always try to be as realistic as possible with you guys. You guys are on this journey with us, and everything that we say is actually happening in current time. We don't make things up to impress you guys. Yeah. Like, this is what it is. And whenever you guys start seeing those vlogs, then you know we're in a better space and we can actually afford those things. And I think it's a lot more valuable to go through things in that way, because our audience will actually get to experience our emotions, our raw, real emotions, right? And our growth, for sure.
Yeah, and it's easy to find, like, you know, a content creator or something. I feel like all our podcasts end up coming back to content creators and stuff like that. But it's easy for you to like see anybody online, period, you know, saying that they're successful and all that. And it's hard to relate, so you don't kind of build that connection with them, because it's like you want to build that connection, but this guy is traveling in private jets. Like, I can aspire to do that one day, but show me the process, show me what you're doing. And that's what we kind of want to do. Even back, if you go back into our older videos, when we started like paying off our debt, like that was a whole transformation. And some of you guys fell off. Well, they're probably not watching right now, but they fell off because it didn't relate to them. But that was our current state. Like, that's what we wanted to do. And we wanted to show you, because even if we change one person's way of thinking for the better, that's what we try to do with all of our podcasts, most of our videos. If we do something that's not something like that, it's just entertainment. Right. But if we can help you be better, like, that's the value we want to bring to you.
Right, right. And I feel like a lot of people are just tired of seeing, you know, the fakeness.
Yeah, like, show me how you got the money.
And like, also, you know, I'm not all for just being, you know, super negative and, you know, oh, you know, like, everything is a problem. No. That's not how I feel about life. But it also isn't just all perfect and rainbows, and it isn't just that simple and that easy. And again, everybody's journey doesn't have to be the same. Everybody's goals isn't the same. Like, our goals might not be your goals, but it's the general idea of being okay with where you are in life that we try to portray. Is the general idea that not everybody's life is the same, that not every content creator's life is the same, that we don't all have flashy houses and, you know, like, we don't all, like, are swimming in money. Like, that is not realistic. That's just not the way it is. And although that's goals sometimes, you know, depending on how you want to live, there's a process that you cannot ignore.
Yeah, I feel like us all minorities, like, once you start making money, like, I feel like it's all such a secret. Like, they don't want to tell, like, oh, you know, I got here because of this. Like, I took these steps. Like, and that's something that we all need to work on as a community, and the minorities, is like helping the next person, because the money is always there. Like, there's money for everyone. So it's like, obviously, if we're going through something that can benefit someone, like, I want to put you on.
Right. And the reason why a lot of people, let's say, commit thefts and become criminals, or it's because they've never had no one to guide them, no one to show them a better way. And so social media, YouTube, this platform is very powerful, because we might not know each other on a personal level, but you might be listening or watching here on YouTube, and something we say might resonate with you and might flip your switch.
Yeah.
So it could be like,
it could be a 40-minute episode, and it'll be like those 2 minutes in the middle that you was like, you stuck through and you listen, and it'd be like, damn, it's true what they're saying. I know, because it's happened to me. Like, we are where we are because of one Instagram story that I caught at a perfect timing.
Yes.
If it wasn't for that story, we would not be here today. And the person who put that story up is a fitness influencer, comedy fitness influencer. And he put a financial post that led me down a rabbit hole that I can honestly say I'm here because of that post that expired in 24 hours.
Yes. Isn't that so powerful?
So, like, and I clearly, I never forget the guy, but that's the importance of him he was a minority too. And he had found that journey, and he felt like sharing it. And he touched a person that changed our life, period. Because he changed my life, and in exchange, changed my family's life.
Yeah.
So this is one, and it's scary because us, like, coming up, and this is all new to us, like, investing and learning about business. So when we want to talk about it, it's a little intimidating, at least for me, because I feel like I'm going to talk and not know everything. Even though I'm still learning. You might
be wrong about certain things.
Because everybody has an opinion. Right. So, like, you can invest in this, and somebody will be like, nah, you do that wrong. You should be investing in this. But that's why you should overdo your own research, whatever you do. But just knowing the information that can take you, like, knowing that something is possible.
Right.
Like, you, for example, let's talk about investing. Like, before all of this, like, you didn't know you can buy a stock anywhere.
I knew Jack. I knew nothing, honestly.
Like, for you, if they was to be like, can you buy
it was honestly, in my mind, it was something that was very complicated in my mind.
Like, you had to be in Wall Street trading papers and stuff like that. Like, that for you, that's how you have to do it.
Yeah.
And you never just realized, like, you could just go on the app and put money and, like, buy.
No, if it wasn't, honestly, guys, if it wasn't for my husband, I would know nothing about investing, because
And I'm no like multi-millionaire
No.
successful investor by any
No,
means.
you might become one. You are.
I will.
I'm not gonna say might. You are.
For sure.
But honestly, I was very intimidated by that stuff before.
Yeah.
And I don't know, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe if we weren't together, maybe I would have gotten curious at some point. Maybe I would have seen a post that maybe would have led me down that rabbit hole. But in all reality, I think I wouldn't have, because that's just not something that has ever been an interest for me in my mind. And again, I had a very complicated view of that world. And I just was never going to picture myself, knowing so much about the investing world. But then you got very into it. And then, my husband, like, he learned certain things and the companies that are better to invest in. And he does so much research and he shares it with me. And sometimes at first I used to be a little bored with it. Like, okay, like, what are you saying, man? Like, what? You're investing this much in the stock and the stock split and I don't know what. And I would just look at him like, okay, as long as you know what you're doing, we're good. But little by little, I just hear him talk more about it. And he gets on YouTube and he listens to other people who invest. What is it? Trapper?
Oh, Wall Street Trapper.
Wall Street Trapper is one of them. Earn Your Leisure. And he puts it on the TV, and little by little, he just wheels me in.
Yeah.
And, sometimes, like, it would be Market Mondays. And he would be here on the couch, and, all of a sudden, I was cooking something. I finished. I was eating, and I'll sit down with him. And, I'm listening. And the more you listen to these conversations, the more you start to understand how it works. Yeah.
Because it'll be like snippets, like I said. Like, it'll be little snippets that kind of resonate. Because it literally is
like they literally have like their own language.
Yeah.
So it does take time for you to understand that world, but it's definitely very necessary if you want to build wealth.
Yeah. And talking about bringing back in the line part of it, when I first started looking into it, it was like after the pandemic and people was getting like rich off the stock market and crypto. And I came in with the mentality of like, I'm going to put all my money in and automatically like we was going to become millionaires. Like, you remember, like we used to talk about it, but this was the type of content that I was consuming because it was what was trending on social media. So like I, kept going with that mentality until like, market crashed. Like it was my first one. And I was like, oh shit, like shit is not as easy as it seemed. Like, yeah, there's people that obviously put money in and they just get lucky. And you got to play that. That's like going to the casino. Like you can go to the casino, put money down and become a millionaire. But it doesn't work that way. And I kind of switched my mentality because I was lying to myself thinking like, okay, this is how I was going to do it. And this is how everybody becomes a millionaire. And it's not. So I think making that switch of like thinking more like long-term, like value investing and like sticking to what works over time from the successful people, the actual successful people, and not the people who are like flashing Lamborghinis like, hey, start trading this.
Yeah.
Changed my mind. So
yeah, they all in a way have their own agenda.
Yeah.
And you have to be very mindful of that. Some people are just literally they just want to sell you a course.
Pretty much.
And I'm not saying that they're all like that. There's definitely people who give very valuable information and that their course will be very valuable to you. But it's a learning curve.
Yeah. And it's fine. I mean, again, everything in life is high risk, high reward. Yeah. So if you want to do it, like, more power to you. So
yeah. And I feel like in life, that's just what happens. You win some, you lose some. That's just the way it is. If you want to win in life, you have to take risk.
Yeah.
Because and you're not always going to win.
Even in business, like if you want to start a business, let's say you want to leave your job and you want to start a business, it's a high risk. Like you're leaving a stable job to go adventure into a business that you don't know if it's going to bring you money. But it's a high reward if it does pay out. Why? Because now you got more money, you got more freedom, you get to do whatever you want if your business is successful.
Yeah.
So,
but that's a risk. A very high risk. But if it works out, it's
a high reward.
Right. So, yeah. If it doesn't scare you, it's not big enough.
So what's one thing, let's say you want to stop lying to yourself about?
I just want to really, like when I say I'm going to switch up my sleep schedule, to actually stick to it. One thing that I have stuck with is Zumba, though.
Oh, yeah.
Since I started, I've been going to my Zumba class. I think I only missed one or twice, and it was because I was taking my son to a baseball game for one, and the other one, I don't remember what it was. But I've been very consistent, and I'm very proud of myself.
Shout out your Zumba instructor.
Shout out to my Zumba instructor, Tristan and Ryan. You guys are awesome.
We'll put their IG.
Yes, I've been loving my Zumba classes here where I live.
I'll say it just in case.
Say what?
People are listening and they can't follow them. Do you know his IG?
He does Zumba classes, not just here where we live, but he does them all over. Tristan's IG is Real Tristan Anthony. So Real Tristan, Tristan Anthony. And yeah, he's a great Zumba instructor, and he does Zumba classes not just where I live, but also all around Connecticut and Westchester. I don't really know, but he does it in several locations. So
shout out to Tristan.
Shout out to
free
Tristan.
Promo. Good people get free promo.
Yes, and his assistant Ryan is amazing. But yeah, I do want to stop lying to myself and really commit to my own health things, because I know my sleep pattern needs to improve. I need to get better sleep. I need to go to sleep a lot earlier than I do. And I need to commit to that. I really do, for my own health, for my own sanity, for my own, I always come around to this, like, everything leads back to me making healthier eating choices sometimes, and my sleep. And that's two things that I'm very inconsistent with sometimes.
Yeah, that's for sure. I try to help you sometimes. I'll be like, I'll take your phone. Not like take it and hide it, but like I'll make her lay next to me and I'll take it.
So I can fall asleep.
Just hug me. Show me my love language.
But I'd be too busy binge watching, whatever it is I'm watching on Netflix or YouTube sometimes, that I don't know, it's hard, Sometimes I just be in the groove and, I want to go to sleep late because everybody's sleeping and it's like my time to have like quiet time. That, I don't know, it's hard.
But if you wake up early, you have quiet time in the morning.
I guess, yeah. Yeah. I don't know, I'm like an owl.
I get it. Some people are just nocturnal.
Yeah, I have more energy in the nighttime.
For sure.
I do. But I definitely want to change that.
Yeah.
I want to turn that around. I really have always aspired to like be that person who wakes up at like 5 o'clock in the morning and, does harsh. A quick workout, and
but I think it's fine. Like you can still be, I think
that's why I don't do anything, because I want to do something so drastic that it's like, how are you going to go from like waking up not super early to waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning every day?
Like hitting a workout, a Zumba class.
4:30. Yeah, it's goes back to being realistic with the goals,
But I think it's fine if let's say you're staying up late and you're being productive, working on something that is helping you.
Which I'm not doing. I'm just binge watching things.
Which comes to me, like, I want to stop lying to myself and giving myself so many like tasks that I want to do, knowing that they're physically impossible to achieve during my day and the hours I have available, because I end up not doing shit. So like, I really want to like prioritize like what are the things. And I've been catching myself, like, if I'm going to do something, I'm like, why am I, I'll start graphic designing some dumb shit that I'm never going to use. And I'm like, why am I wasting my brain cells on this when I could be putting it towards something that's going to help us in our brand and everything?
I've heard Prince Donnell talk about this not that long ago. He said that in order for you to have a successful, productive day, you should write down a list of 3 or 4 things you want to accomplish for that day.
Yeah.
And if you accomplished at least half of the list, then you rate your day on how productive you were that day based on how many you completed.
Yeah.
So if you completed half of it, you were 50% productive. If you completed more than half, you were 75% productive. And that way you don't feel like you weren't productive at all. At least you check some things off that list. So maybe that's something that you should do.
And another thing is kind of like, for example, like I have so many ideas that I want to do. And some of these things are things like I can outsource and have other people do it. But like I said, we as a minority always like we want to hoard cash. And it's like, nah, I can't let this go. But when you start, I heard this, I think he said it in the morning meeting too. Like when you start letting go of money and not treating it like so high ranking, like it just comes to you. And not saying like let go of money and like go down to the Louis Vuitton store.
Yeah.
Like let it go in a smart way.
Right. Not splurge it on things you don't actually need, but actually like kind of invest your money, because that's really investing.
Yeah, it's investing in your business. There's like little things that I want to do with the business. For example, like the little social media icons that pop up. Like I've been saying for months that I'm going to do it myself because I know how to do it. And like just make it transparent where it just like Zoom comes out in the screen. And just, I haven't done it because I haven't had the time, but I could have just sent out $25 and I would have had every, like yours, mine in a folder.
Already done.
But
you're refusing to pay someone because you know how to do it.
But instead of me just sending that money out, making my life easier, check off my list, like it's done, productive, like I got this done, then.
Yeah, that's dumb, babe.
I know.
I think you should know. You should definitely just pay them the damn $25. What's the big deal? Oh my God, that's funny. But yeah. True.
I need to stop lying myself and say you're not a superhero. No matter what your kids think, you're not a superhero.
All right, guys, that's it for today's podcast. Thank you so much for listening if you're listening. Thank you so much for watching if you're watching. Don't forget to leave your comments down below if you're here on YouTube. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for listening and staying till the end. Yep. Don't forget to subscribe if you like the conversation. Don't forget to hit the bell so you'll be notified every time we post a video. And that's it for today's podcast.
And if you're listening to us on Spotify, Apple, whatever listening platform you're on, don't forget to leave a like, a review, I think it is, or a comment. Yeah, I think that's what it is.
A review?
We're working on it. Yeah, I think it's a review, the way it works. Yeah, we appreciate it. It helps the channel. Peace.
Have a good one, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time.
Peace.
You about to say it?